Hi, this is Erling.
Hi, this is Judy. Welcome to Travel Trail Sail.
Well, we had an amazing adventure in Alaska. We were on a princess cruise tour that allowed us to explore some of the best that Alaska has to offer, both on land and by cruise ship. We traveled by plane, bus, train, cruise ship, and even helicopter, thousands of miles. We started in Fairbanks. We got to see two different lodges around Denali National Park, and then we boarded a cruise ship. And along the way, we saw two incredible national parks, multiple icy glaciers, at least 5 fantastic places, and we discovered a world of friendly people, beautiful landscapes, and amazing wildlife. And we can't wait to share it all with you. Now, in our first few videos, we've covered Fairbanks and all the must-do attractions in Fairbanks. I really enjoyed that.
I did too.
And we covered Pike's Lodge that we stayed at in Fairbanks. And then we journeyed down to the Denali Princess Wilderness Lodge and stayed there, explored the national park. And now our next destination is the McKinley Princess Wilderness Lodge.
So, Erling, what would you tell our viewers as far as why they should stay at McKinley Princess Lodge?
Well, McKinley Princess Lodge is a beautiful lodge. It's in a wonderful setting. The main reason that you'd stay there is to get the best possible place to view the peak of the North America's tallest mountain. This lodge is really geared towards, with a huge deck and a couple other places to view it, to trying to get a glimpse of that wonderful mountain. People sit out all day long waiting for their opportunity. When we got there, it was clouded and shrouded in mystery, like just this tiny little peak looking out.
A little peak poking out from the clouds.
And we were like, are we going to get to see it from here? And then later on, it cleared and it was just amazing.
Breathtaking, yes. So that is really the focus of this lodge. And I must say, it was very relaxing to sit outside and just watch the clouds come and go. And is the mountain going to put on a show for us or not? So that is really the focus of this lodge. There's not much else around, right?
No,
it's pretty isolated.
Unlike the Denali Lodge, where you could actually take an excursion easily right into the park, this one's a little farther away, so you're going to have a chance to view the mountain, but you may not be as easy at visiting the park from here.
So after staying 2 amazing nights at Denali Princess Lodge, we were getting ready to head to McKinley Princess Lodge. But we still had some time that morning to walk around Denali Princess Lodge. We had a really good breakfast. And we even walked to the entrance of the national park, which was really nice that it's so close that you can just walk from the lodge to the entrance. So it was a great way to start the day. And then we headed on a bus towards McKinley Princess Lodge. Now the 2 lodges are about 100 miles apart, so it's about a 2-hour bus ride. But our bus driver was very informative the whole time. He would stop or slow down and point things along the way. We even got to see Hurricane Gulch. So it was really a nice bus ride.
And along the way, we finally got to see something you've wanted to see for a long time.
A moose.
Yay! We blew by pretty fast, but there were 2 moose along the side of the road.
Just along the side of the road, and they were very impressive.
Yeah.
But one thing I do want to mention, though, at Denali Princess Lodge, there are a lot of buses that are heading towards McKinley Lodge. So you want to make sure that you know the bus that you should be on, and make sure you look for the right bus for you.
They'll tell you which bus to get on, and then, I think we were on M2 or something like that. They call it out when it's your time to board. Just make sure you get on the right bus so you don't end up going someplace you don't want to go.
Right.
That morning we had put our luggage out by the door. They're really good about transporting luggage for you. It doesn't come on the bus. It's a separate transport. But when we arrived at the McKinley Lodge, we were all checked in, just like at Denali. had our room keys, had a map, everything we needed, but our room wasn't ready yet. So we were trying to figure out what to do, and we thought, well, we've heard about this place called Talkeetna.
Yes.
They have shuttle buses. Let's go give it a try. So it turns out it is a paid excursion to be able to get the bus ride. It's not much, $10 round trip, something like that. So we went to the desk, booked the excursion to Talkeetna, and got on a bus for about an hour ride.
It is an hour each way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we were pretty excited to see it. It's been on TV shows and things, and we thought this would be kind of fun to go check out. So we did. We went and wandered around the small town of Talkeetna. If you walk from where the bus drops you off all the way to the end, you can check out kind of a neat river view. As we explored, Judy, there was a garlic bread restaurant, or like a food truck, right?
Right, spinach
And
bread.
Spinach bread, that's it. And they made lemonade, but not just any lemonade. It had sweetened condensed milk in it.
Yes.
It was really
That
good
was
lemonade.
very good. Although I think it was limeade.
Limeade,
Yes.
okay.
But it was very good.
Yeah. So we had limeade, that was fun. And then we found a local brew pub. There's a local brewery that was serving beer, and they had a fire pit outside. This was actually probably the best part of Talkeetna, that we got to just sit and chat with some locals from the area, got to hear a little bit about life in Alaska from some local residents,
Yes.
and I think that was probably my favorite part of visiting Talkeetna.
Yes, I would agree with that. They were so friendly, and it's a full service restaurant. I mean, you can get food there. The menu looked really good. But if you're going to Talkeetna, that's what I would recommend doing, is going to that brew pub, either getting a bite to eat or a drink, and sit outside around the fire pit and talk to the locals. They are incredibly friendly, and it was just a really nice, enjoyable, relaxing time.
Yeah. So we had a chance to kind of explore. There isn't that much to see there. And then we got on the bus back. Well, if you've been following along with our videos, you know how much we've been enjoying eating out at some of the places we visited. Judy, tell us a little bit about our experience at the McKinley Lodge for dinner.
Yeah, so for McKinley, we were pretty excited to try their food, right? We've had such good food at Pump House and Fairbanks and Denali Wilderness Lodge.
Oh, just amazing.
It was all amazing. So we were really excited to try McKinley Lodge, their food. And it was good. I would say it wasn't quite as good.
Yeah.
The restaurant we went to the first night, North Fork, the tables were very, very close together. The service was a little slow. Never offered a wine list, and the food was good.
What did you have?
I had halibut, of course, and scallops, and how can you go wrong with that?
And I had a filet mignon, really tasty, and we had, because we're on the dining package, dessert is included, so why not?
Right.
And I think we ordered it was like a crumble.
A crumble and a chocolate mousse, and it was, I think, the world's smallest chocolate mousse. But
little shot glass. It was tasty, but kind of small.
yeah,
But, yeah.
it was okay. It was good. I mean,
But it didn't leave us wanting to go back there
Right.
the next night. But all things considered, it was okay. Just not quite up to what we've been experiencing at the other Princess Lodge.
right. And so they do have other restaurants at McKinley Lodge. There was the 20,230 restaurant. We had breakfast there a couple times. Then we also went to the base camp restaurant the next day for dinner. That was really good. That was more casual, very tasty food.
Yeah, they had outside dining. You could eat inside or outside. I think I had a hamburger. It was served with cheese, bacon, and an onion ring.
All the good stuff.
It was really, really tasty hamburger. And you had a panini.
With salmon, of course.
Of course. But I think the service there, the food there, so even though it's the more casual restaurant, it was actually, I enjoyed it a lot more, and I thought
yes.
that was really tasty.
I did too, and I would recommend eating there. I thought the food was great, the service was great, and the view was wonderful. You could eat outside if you want.
Yeah. One of the things Judy and I love doing is getting out and taking a hike. And so when we were looking at things to do around the McKinley Lodge, we noticed that there was an excursion we could book that would take us over to Denali State Park. Now, you've heard about the national park, but there's actually a Denali State Park too. And so we booked the Beyers Lake Nature Walk. And after breakfast, we gathered with a small group. Our guide met us with a van, and she took us the 20 minutes or so over to get to the park. And then we had a leisurely stroll on part of the trail that goes next to the lake. It was really cool. And we were visiting in May. The lake was still mostly frozen over. So the trail goes like right up to the edge of the lake. And we could walk along and kind of watch. And it was a sunny day. And as the day progressed, we could almost see the ice on the lake melting. It was really cool. But we had a great guide. And she was showing us all kinds of plants. Do you remember some of the plants that we saw?
Oh yeah, there were some really cool plants. She talked about devil's club, horsehair, cow parsnip, which apparently you definitely do not want to touch. It will burn you.
Ooh.
What else? We ate wild cranberries that she showed us. Very, very sour. We ate blueberry flowers. Very sweet. That was cool. She also showed us Arctic staghorn, club moss, fireweed, green alder.
There was a lot of plants.
Stuff. Yeah.
And she was really knowledgeable and was showing us all of the different plants. And then as we got towards the end, it's a round trip. We go one way and then head back. Towards the end of the walk, we ran into a trapper's cabin. So this was the Beeman family. They must have been pretty rugged because I think they flew into the lake. There was nothing there yet, and they built this little trapper's cabin and actually lived in it. I think they said they even raised children in this cabin.
A little cabin.
So they would go there and stay in the winters and go trapping and built this cabin. And later on, the land that they had actually became the start of what became the state park. So that's pretty cool to see. It's kind of fading away back into the landscape, but
That's right.
Yeah.
So it was a nice excursion, a very easy hike, I would say, good for, beginners. It's a mile in and a mile out, a very leisurely pace. The guide stopped and, explained all the flowers and plants to us. So it was very good.
Yeah, nice leisurely walk. And how can you beat a walk in the woods? One of the reasons you'll want to consider staying at the McKinley Lodge is for those views. And one of the places that you can get a great view of the mountain is from a treehouse, if you can believe it. Judy,
Yes.
What was the treehouse like?
The treehouse was so amazing. I want it.
Yeah.
That's what I want as my office. With, the mountain to look at.
Yeah.
But no, this treehouse was amazing. It's up on a hill, so you do have to either climb up the hill, hike up a hill, or some pretty steep steps. There's two ways you can get to the treehouse. But boy, is it worth it. And that treehouse is so cool. So cool. But it gives you a nice view of the mountain.
There's a deck on the treehouse and with chairs, and so you can kind of sit and enjoy the view from there too. People really seem to enjoy just relaxing at the treehouse, having conversations while looking at the mountain.
Yes. In fact, that treehouse was featured in the show Treehouse Masters. I believe it was season 9, episode 9. So if you want to check out how they made it and the story behind that treehouse, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed going to the treehouse.
Oh, yes. So much we went several times.
It was worth it. Again, not an easy climb for everybody, but if you can do it, it's really worth the view from up there.
Yes, absolutely. In addition to the trail that gets you to the treehouse, the property does have other trails that you can walk.
From the part of the lodge where the observation deck is. There's a trail there called the Lodge Trail. Pretty easy trail, a little bit of woods there, not super wooded, but just a nice, easy walking trail. I think just the caution there on that trail is to watch your step.
Yes, indeed.
There are signs around saying that there's a lot of moose in the area.
Yes.
So, but that was an easy walking trail. There's another one called the Creek Overlook Trail, and that one actually kind of just goes along the side of a somewhat busy road. So, proceed with caution if you're going to take the Creek Overlook Trail. And then finally, the way that the resort is set up, they have the main lodge building, but where you'll be sleeping is in different hotel buildings that are spread out. And they actually have trails that connect all of the different buildings as well. So that's kind of a nice area just to walk around and enjoy looking at the resort.
Yeah, and I thought overall it was a really nice property. They do also have that outdoor fire pit area.
Yeah.
Where they even have like drinks or snacks you can get right there, and it was nice.
Yeah, kind of outside. So, a couple of the restaurants are in the main lodge building. The 2320 that we mentioned is its own building, and then near that is an outdoor area with seating, fire pit, and I think a little bar too.
Yeah, a little snack shack or something. Yeah. So that was really nice.
Yeah. If you've ever stayed at a national park or a state park, you know that one of the fun things to do is go to a ranger talk. Well, at the McKinley Princess Wilderness Lodge, they actually have ranger talks there too.
Yeah, and all kinds of topics, right? But one of the topics that really caught my eye was the talk on moose. I don't know why. I'm fascinated with moose, probably because we don't have them in our area of the world. So we went to the talk, very informative, but it was a lot more than just about the moose. It was about life in Alaska and how you survive the winter and hunting and locals and hunting laws and things like that. It's a lot of information, a lot of good information I didn't know. So I would say when you're at McKinley, check out a ranger talk that is of interest to you. They are very, very knowledgeable. So overall, I would recommend the McKinley Lodge.
Yeah.
I thought it was a nice property, wonderful place to view the mountain. So what did you think about the accommodations, the room itself?
Well, so there's a variety of buildings spread out through the property, and we stayed in a hotel style. That means, a separate entrance, and then you have a hallway with entrances to each of the rooms. We had a king room this time, which was nice. I thought the room was spacious.
It was.
It had most of the things that you'd want. In addition to the king bed, there was a desk with a couple of chairs, a coffee maker on there, and a separate, like a sitting chair with a lamp behind it in case you wanted to read a book. Kind of like we've been finding with the other hotels in Alaska, no air conditioning. Probably didn't need it, but they do have a ceiling fan as well as an additional fan in the room. Then there's no closet, but there is an area with a dresser and a place where you could hang clothes if you needed to do that. Now, we're dressed pretty casually on this Alaska trip, flannel shirts and jeans, so we didn't have a lot to hang, but maybe you have a jacket or something that you'd like to hang up. The bathroom was clean and comfortable. It had a curved shower rod, which I think gives you the feel of a little more space in it. Shampoo, body wash, conditioner, all provided in the shower. The towels, not super deluxe, but nice enough.
Right.
Same with the bed. It was comfortable enough. Maybe could have used a better pillow. But in the scheme of things, the room was nice. Our building down the hall, there was a laundry facility. I think it had one washer, 2 dryers, as well as an ice maker and a Coca-Cola vending machine. So that was a nice amenity. Something else we discovered at this property that we hadn't seen at the others we were staying at was there is a playground on property as well, just a small playground in case you're traveling with younger ones. So I have to say the room was comfortable and clean, and it made for a good place to stay during our visit. After spending a couple of really nice nights at the McKinley Princess Wilderness Lodge, it was time to move on. With a cruise tour, you do find that you're moving every day or two. And so we had 2 nights here, and it was time for the next part of our adventure. After a good breakfast, we got on buses that took us over to Talkeetna again, but this time to the train station. Well, I don't know if you can call it a train station.
I put that in quotations, train station.
It's really more train tracks with a gravel parking area next to it and some signs telling you where to line up. There's different cars, and you're assigned which car you're going to be seated in. So we took the hour bus ride over. They dropped us off at the train station. And before you knew it, that train, it's a blue and yellow Alaska train, pretty iconic, comes pulling in, and we're boarding for our train journey down to Whittier.
Yes, and it's all very well organized. You know, they assign you a bus, and that bus will stop at the, train car that you get on. It's all very organized. So that went very smoothly, right? But when we boarded the train, then we were a little bit surprised at the seating. So we were at a table for 4 with 2 other people, right? And you'd have 2 people that are riding backwards, right? So it was a little different than what I expected, but it was nice.
They were nice people. We made some small talk and enjoyed it. They had friends or family in another car and were reseated. So maybe we were together for the first part of the journey, and then we had a table for 4 just with the 2 of us for the rest of the journey. It was an interesting car too. The way the windows curved up.
Oh, right. It's like a dome car, right? So you can see, the sky above you. So it was great for really seeing that beautiful scenery. And it really changed as the ride went on. Now, this train ride is several hours, right, to get from Talkeetna to Whittier. So the scenery, you get to see how it changes.
Yeah, there was some really beautiful scenery, mountain scenes, rivers. There was a lake we passed, and people were already starting to enjoy a holiday weekend, and we're like, ooh, that water might be a little chilly.
Right.
but they were out there having a blast on the lake. We had a guide in our rail car. Every car had its own guide, and she was telling us all kinds of stories about what we were seeing through the journey. Told us about all the different Costco's in Anchorage, which is kind of a surprising fact. Alaska, apparently the Alaskans love flying there, loading up for the winter and then flying home. So that was interesting to learn about.
Yep, she was very knowledgeable and a great guide.
And believe it or not, our dining package actually carried forward onto the train. So we had lunch included, we had sandwiches, and then for dessert, key lime pie.
Key lime pie.
Who would have thought we're in Alaska having key lime pie? But
yeah, so that was nice.
Yeah, and a long journey, but eventually we made it. And as we got through Anchorage and started to get close to Whittier, there's a tunnel. And the train shares a tunnel with cars, but they have to take turns, right? So if the train's going through, they can't let cars go through. So you see all these cars lined up waiting for their turn to use the tunnel as well. But that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and the scenery, as you're approaching Whittier, is just breathtaking. So pretty.
Absolutely beautiful. And we would see, I think, bald eagles flying.
Like tons of bald eagles, yes. It's awesome.
But before we knew it, that journey was coming to an end, and the train pulls right up to our Princess Cruise. And that is a story for the next time, because that ended the land portion of our cruise tour, the end of the train ride pulling up in Whittier. And then the next thing is we're boarding a southbound cruise down to Vancouver, which is super exciting.
Yes.
But we're going to tell you about that in our next video. So we hope that you're enjoying this Alaska series. If you don't want to miss anything, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you join our journey. If you have questions about our trip, we try and answer as many as we can, so leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining us, and we can't wait to see you again real soon.